my end.
Yeah, I'll let you know when it's live.
Okay. Oh, we've got the Spirit of Jim.
And we're live. We're live. When I said I don't know what intro we've got, it's because we've not got an intro. So yeah, we are live. How are you all doing, guys?
Oh, we're doing great.
Yeah.
Sean's a bit cold.
Well, it's Canada.
I'm just trying to find the
yeah, no, it's there. We just got finished another blizzard / snowstorm / lots of wind, blah blah blah. So minus 30-ish, but the snow drifts now in between the like on the meridians in between the roads now are taller than I am. So, and I know that's not saying much, but
so that's not that tall then.
No, Seattle got we got about between 4 and 3 to 5 inches, depending on what part of town you're in. Overnight.
You know, getting 3 to 5 inches, some would say, is a successful weekend.
If you're in prison, but
I'm not here to judge Brian.
No, it's that had to be a Sean thing.
That wasn't me. I didn't do it. Nobody said you can't do anything.
Oh God, I needed that, especially after this past weekend, man.
Yeah,
I'm finally sitting there going like, okay, I can like start to do laundry and go get a haircut, take a shower, those types of things. And
it was a crazy week. I mean, with PHS, and hats off to everyone involved, the volunteers, yourself, Sean, everybody involved. We managed to, in true Grant and Jim style, it was all right on the night. We managed to get through it, and it was. I think it was a very successful event. It seemed to run smoothly, which was great. Then after that, we had
attendance was up significantly over last year, from what I can recall. And
really good. And like I said, and then after that we had Seattle for the memorial, which was
exciting.
Yeah, it was not. It was weird going from like 100 miles an hour of the conference to then slowing that right down. Sean, Brian, you did a great job of being a host of showing us all the sights and sounds of
we
Seattle.
Learned geography.
Yes. And it turns out
Linwood looks a lot closer to downtown Seattle on a map than it is in person.
I never realized how big Seattle was and how beautiful it is, to be fair.
The caveat, depending on where you go.
Yes, true. And then in true our style, we streamed Jim's service, which was, again, thanks to Sean and his tech guruness, was bug free, I think is fair to say.
Yep, it's all good. We're editing the final video up, so we'll have everything put together into one video for people.
I was just thinking about this as we went live, going, it seems like just a couple days ago, maybe a week, that Grant and Sean, that I called you guys both with horrible news, and then just rapid fire, just a quick redistribution or reallocation of tasks and responsibilities. Then it was finalize everything. We got into Vegas 100 miles an hour. We slept very little, and then saw some sights, came home, gym service, and then all of a sudden I'm like, well, it's February now. January just seems like it just didn't exist.
I mean, it was the longest month of the year so far, I think.
I feel like it was
at least 31 days, right, Grant?
It was at least 31 days.
What you did there.
Yeah.
but seriously, like it absolutely.
Thank you for picking up on that, Sean. I don't think Brian got that one straight away.
No, I'm like, it's there's part of me that's just mentally fried from everything, just going, all the prep and then all the things that like I had to do to get knocked out as far as like, appointments and things like that. But
yeah,
it's like I blinked and, we're already a week into February.
yeah. And it's weird though, like when you're tired and you're exhausted and all that stuff's going on, it's like, it's weird how sometimes like your natural instincts kick in. Like I remember at the service when there was I'll let you explain about the elephant in the room, the kickoff at the service.
Oh,
It's nice that your military background kicked in there and had my back. Cheers for that, Brian.
Okay. In my defense, let's rotate the camera 90 degrees.
I'll take all 6 of the one. It's okay. I've got Brian at my back. He's got me. There was nobody there.
All right. No. So here's so let me set the scene for everybody. So Grant is at the back of the ballroom, and I'm in the front row. Now, Jim had a friend of his that he had known for the better part of 20 plus years. She had children from a previous relationship, and if I recall correctly, I don't believe that there was ever any type of romantic thing, or if there was, it was short-lived and very, very long ago. But they've been friends, and then her 2 boys, Jim basically treated and loved and looked after like they were his own from a very, very young age, and now they're young adults, I believe, probably in their 20s, estimating. Now, nobody from that part of the family dressed up for a funeral, which, again, Brian's thoughts and theories are not representative of Hypno News, but if you lassoed, the golden lasso of truth, it was revealed that it was pre-planned. I would not be shocked. So Danny Green, God bless her, she was gracious enough to do the service as the officiant and volunteer her services. She's getting up and kind of doing a recap of Jim's life and his accomplishments and things like that. And she has said it from the onset, like, this is a script. I wrote everything down so I don't miss anything, and I kind of keep it together. And so one of the boys stands up and basically accuses her of like some chat GPT. This is insert profanity here. And some friends had flown up from Arizona that were, mutual friends of Marianne and Jim. And so they're kind of like, our ride just got up and is walking out and causing a scene. How do we gracefully kind of exit? And, the family could have just, if they were upset, slide outboard of the seating area, swing around the back out of the camera frame and just left. But they wanted to make a scene and walk in front of everybody. So in the video, you'll see a group of people walk up and hug Mai and say, hey, I'm so sorry. Those people were cool. The very first people, so the folks that were hugging Mai are blocking my view, so I never saw you come running down the other side and exit. I saw a couple people and I was like, okay, they're probably just going to close the doors and what may have you. And it wasn't until Joy comes down and says, move your ass, Grant's going to kill somebody. I was like, oh, well, I'm going to try to stifle some of those things too. And there was a confrontation in the lobby, which,
I mean, it's
pretty much it was like, if you want to come back in and grieve, you can. But if you're just going to be complete assholes and classless people, get the hell out so we can get back to this.
Yeah. I mean, everyone grieves in their own way, and whatever it is, and those involved, they have their intents and purposes for that, and that's fine. Maybe I overreacted as well. For me, it was such a weird thing, and I've watched the video back a couple of times because I know some of Jim's actor friends were there from his murder mystery dinners.
They didn't move.
I didn't know Marianne and the kids. And so for me, at the beginning of the memorial, I've heard some of the actor friends come over and say they'd never met mine, they'd like to be introduced. Mm-hmm. I knew there were some actors there in that side of the room. And so in true Jim style,
they were all great.
Stand up and say some stuff. And I'm like, is this a skit? Is this like a routine? Is it like a,
Yeah.
it was Colonel Mustard in the library. So I'm watching and you can see me looking as in like, what's going on, trying to compute what's happening. And it's when the second person stands up and I'm like, what is going on?
So they were super confident.
So then I kind of shoot to the front of the thing. And then at that point, the person went out and it was just like, yeah. But
I remember afterwards you were like, to be fair, I may have said something.
yeah,
It may not have, but you were completely reasonable to,
yeah,
express, like, look, there's so much effort and time that went into this to make it a good showing.
yeah,
And, take all of us out of it.
yeah,
All the family and friends and everything. And even if you remove Danny out of it from the disrespect that it showed her, it was the disrespect that was shown to Jim and his memory and the service. And that's really what bothered me.
I think you would have loved it. I hope Jim saw that. And Jim would go, Grant overreacted. so
I don't think he would. I think he would have been like, hey, at least Grant was, going to kind of stick up and for me. And it wasn't until I heard the commotion that I stood up and was like, oh God, no, habeas grabus and swiftest ass kickus and whatnot. I'm like, this is going to be a lot of paperwork. And, I mean, I have to acknowledge like my feelings. I was ready to go and I was having like that conversation with myself in my head going, do you just lay this guy out right now?
Yeah.
And dump him in front of everybody and just open up the door with his head. But then I was like, oh, it's glass doors. The building's 100 years old. Criminal charges. How do I articulate? And it was just like, I've got to go speak like now.
Yeah.
And so everything that I had that sounded cool of, telling the story about, going over Jim's will with him when we were drafting it, where he says, please delete my browser history and don't let anybody play Nickelback with a video montage for the love of God.
Maybe that's why the music didn't work on the video. Maybe Jim had kind of seen what happened and thought, those guys were playing Nickelback. Let's mute the music.
No, so do you remember when we were doing sound check with Dale and he says, hey, Brian, do you need sound for the projector? I thought, do we need another connection for audio? And I was like, no, the sound is going to play from the laptop through the projector through HDMI. And he goes, well, I needed to turn the sound channel on so that the projector, the audio coming out of the projector plays through the overhead speakers. And I went, oh, I screwed that one up. So, Sean, we have a tech tip. Next time for Hypnosis.
Not only turn the camera and projector on, make sure the sound is connected.
Yeah. But Grant, we went out to dinner afterwards with Sean Summers. And it was, while we're getting stuff cleaned up and we finally sat down to dinner, I pulled out my phone and I just had notification after notification, a lot of like, what happened, what the hell was that beautiful service, the Masonic portion. I got so many compliments. Michael Deschalette was like, hey, Wi-Fi at the Orleans was just not playing nice that day, so I finally just got a chance to watch it, and he had some just very, very lovely words to say about that.
I mean, it was a beautiful ceremony. Paulette's here as well. Paulette, hello. Hopefully you're well and enjoying the new time of Hypno News as well. So yeah.
But yeah, we still have the what's it called? Yeah, your time in Seattle, it was great. We took you to the Hallmark Christmas card picture town of Leavenworth.
Oh, the famous Bavarian town. I mean, I did not realize Bavaria was in Seattle, in Washington. But yeah,
it was a little over an hour away, but they have the Kris Kringle shop over there, so it's Christmas stuff. Grant and I found a moose wreath that was gold plated.
That's no way to talk about her.
the decorations, not. But so Grant, what did you think about Cabela's?
Oh, lovely, lovely, absolutely loved it. It was a shop full of freedom.
Oh, and American flags everywhere, and
Yeah,
you got to shoot a compound bow
yep.
in the indoor archery range.
And because no one could see me on the video of that said incident, no one can see where the arrow hit the target. So I think the man said it was the best 2 shots of a compound bow he'd ever seen in his entire life.
Aside from the 3 arrows on the wall, that it's one stacked into another and another.
Apart from that one.
But you may be from England, but not quite Robin Hood yet.
Yes.
And but yeah, we had had some decent food. Starbucks headquarters, the Starbucks Reserve store. As soon as right after we landed, before on our way to the hotel, I was like, "This is ground zero, where everything started." And you sipped your latte and wept.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So Paulette says, yes, not the same, but to grow, change is inevitable. Absolutely, Paulette. And obviously, both myself and Jim had a couple of live streams and podcasts, and which some of those will be resurging very soon under various different guises to carry on that legacy as well. Speaking on carrying on legacies, we'll go through very quickly some of the conferences that we've got coming up.
Yeah.
Jim is really thankful to have friends like each of you. I think he would be thankful. He's either thankful or he's trying to find his way to claw himself back to this plane, just to be like, what are you doing?
And I can say with impunity that with friends like Grant, I don't need enemies.
You do not. You do not. So the GoFundMe page, there's a link to that in the comment section, which is doing really well.
I think we need to really give a shout out to Kevin Lapine for his generosity and the people who donated. We've definitely been able to raise money that's really put a decent dent in some of the expenses that his family has had to incur. Absolutely. And some upcoming stuff. But we want to keep that momentum going. And let's roll with what's the next conference that's coming up? We've got
the next one that's coming up is going to be Heartlands. This is a favorite of mine. This is in April. Let me just change this overlay. You'll be able to see.
I got it here. April 25th to 27th.
There we go. Let's have a look.
And that's
the 27th of April.
That's the one in St. Louis, correct?
That's the one in St. Louis. William puts this on. It has a stage tract, a hypnotherapy tract, a business tract, an NLP tract. It also has a metaphysical tract as well, which is really interesting, especially with William being a preacher himself. And so it's a really good, popular conference. I'm a big fan of this one. I'll be speaking at this one as well. I know Jim's going to be, but obviously isn't.
I've never been, but for years I've heard good things. So I think it might be late for me to get there this year with my schedule, but next year is definitely on the table.
Yeah,
that would be one to get to, a good one to go to.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. After that one is Pacific Northwest. This is June 7th to the 8th. This is again a project that Jim was very much heavily involved in, and speaking to Anthony whilst up in Seattle. He's obviously excited and sad at the same time, but a lot of work has already gone into the conference, and so he's going to be carrying that forward now, and doing great guns. So anything we can do to support that as a conference is fantastic. It's a great local conference for that part of the US that is not covered, and there are so many people that are involved in this that were at Jim's memorial as well. So it's great to see the support they've all had for this. So it'd be good to see people there as well.
And to add on to that, the part of town that it's going to be in. So if you look on a map, just south of Seattle, where I-5 and I-405 split off, South Center, Tukwila, it's probably 5-10 minutes from the airport. So they've got free shuttles running out there if you're staying at the Marriott. And there's a ton of different hotels that are just right around in that kind of industrial mall part of town. So easily accessible. Ubers are going to be very, very reasonable if you need it. And it's the vertical wind tunnel iFly is not too far away.
Awesome. Another one coming up is July 18th to the 20th. This is Hypno Thoughts Live. It's the conference that needs no introduction. It's the world's biggest hypnosis conference, and that is in there Vegas again. A great conference, probably one of the busiest conferences out there. It's one of those everyone's got to do it at least once. Again, each year they change and evolve this one. It's fantastic. So
it's the busiest conference because nobody's outside in the summer heat in the desert in Las Vegas.
Yes.
The air conditioning, we have faith and confidence.
Yeah. No, it's a great space. Lots of networking going on. It is incredibly busy. And again, conferences, you kind of got different things. I like local conferences as well as these bigger conferences. They serve two different beasts. So absolutely fantastic. But you get to see some real legends in the industry there. And then obviously at PHS 2026, the 23rd to the 26th of January 2026, that is a tongue twister to say. It will be the Performing Hypnosis Summit. Back in there Vegas at the Gold Coast. I thought it worked really well as a venue. The feedback I've had from most people is that it was spot on. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
And everybody at Gold Coast, I can't say this enough, from the people who were taking out the trash and setting up the rooms, to Shanlin, who's coordinating all of the discounted rates, and Grant, I'm going to apologize in advance. Remind me the other lady who was coordinating the rooms, or
there was Tanya and Shenlin.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
They were both just so wonderful and so accommodating, and we're looking forward to making a few changes to help things. With every conference, there's lessons learned and stuff that we want to implement to make everybody's life easier.
Yeah, I mean, there will be some changes coming up to the website over the next month. But one of the things we're going to be putting on there is a gallery. And so in the Performing Hypnosis group, there's going to be a post put up there. If you've got any pictures from this year's PHS, put them in the chat underneath there, and that'll go into the gallery. But there'll be lots of things done to streamline and smooth that as well, just to make it an even better experience. How we can top this year, I have no idea.
More people.
Yeah.
And what I enjoyed about this year, I mean, obviously it was special because we lost Jim right before, and it was therapeutic to go see everybody. I mean, just the love and outpouring. And one of the things that really just stood out to me was there really wasn't nobody was really pitching any sales. It was, I'm a resource. I have information. I have just whatever I can give. Chris Jones was like, dude, I love talking hypnosis. Call me. Get in touch. Tom Silver was just, I mean, him in person was wonderful. Jason O'Callaghan, talking to that guy, just, the dude is hilarious, and you just can't help but love him. He's just fun, and everybody was just so fun to be around. And of course, I'd be remiss if we did not mention Brewster, the morale officer dog.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about like, I mean, PHS is always going to be a niche within a niche, or niche within a niche. And that's what makes it special. That they are fun people, they are performers, and the whole conference is based around that performance side of things. So it's a great place where performers can stretch. Is it Tanya or Tonya? The little petite girl that's the pianist, amazing energy, just getting into hypnosis.
She's the pianist.
Yes.
No, she was lovely. Just, I mean, you want to pack just a ball of energy in a tiny little package. She was it, just super friendly, outgoing, and I think the common theme throughout all of PHS that I could pass on or that I noticed was there is more work and more opportunity to make money than there are qualified hypnosis entertainers. And it was the emphasis on don't hoard your your little fear or your little section of clientele.
Yeah.
There was no scarcity mentality at all. It was the emphasis on present yourself in a professional manner, honor the profession, and don't make us all look bad.
Yeah.
And if we can do that, there's going to be work out there for you. And the emphasis was also, the relationship building is, if I'm not, I can solve a problem if I'm not available. Hey, Grant's hilarious. He'll put on a good show for you.
Yeah. And it's not just that. It's not just the networking. It's just, it's meeting people of a similar energy that, have a similar goal, that want to just improve shows, not just the business side of things, but have better skits, better routines, better everything. And so if you want to get involved in that, get involved in 2026. Now's the time to kind of get involved in that.
And the interest on collaboration was through the roof. It was like, let's figure out what fits each person.
Yeah. Cool. So we're at 26 minutes past, which is pretty good for a 20-minute show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, next week we'll introduce a countdown timer, Brian.
I didn't know that it was a 20-minute show. I was like, okay, we're gonna be about 30 minutes, and you were like, oh yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, but 20 minutes is the sweet spot of people's attention spans, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, try and keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, one other announcement we should make here in the next little bit is that we are bringing back the Hypnosis Hero podcast. So it'll be slightly rebranded as Hypnosis Hero 2.0. And we will announce probably in the next Hypno News when exactly we'll be starting, because there's a few logistics that Brian and I need to work out behind the scenes. Once we have those worked out, then we are essentially good to go.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that we're bringing it back. It's we're just more continuing it, and we had to pause because of circumstances. But I'm definitely excited to resume and continue Jim's legacy. And I can't think of two other people that I'd love to do this more with.
It will be cool. Jim did lots of great work. To be fair, we all do lots of great work. And sometimes when a speed bump comes along, it can be disheartening and a reason for people to kind of drop tools for a little bit. But what we've got to do, and what Jim would have wanted, is for us to pick those tools back up and then continue the work on and work harder and work smoother. So you guys run a fantastic podcast with Hypnosis Hero, and so that has to continue on. Yeah,
I mean, we had to move laterally a little bit to, adjust course, but forward progress, and this is, it applies to life. Forward progress, no matter how small, is still forward progress.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's the Star Trek turn from the song? Only going forward because we can't find reverse.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
And one last announcement. Our beloved Casey, you're ready to do a show. You are competent. You have value. You're going to go crush it. But no, I think Deanna was out there with us. She was one of our speakers, and as always, beautiful as ever, lovely to have, and just full of knowledge and encouragement. So everybody at the round table afterwards, it was just so much fun.
Yeah. Paulette says, use the speed bump to propel you. Absolutely, Paulette. And Paulette, you are part of the team, so anything we can do to help you, we're very much appreciated. And your your continued support and sharing of these feeds and everything. All, it means a lot. So thank
Yeah.
you.
If you need anything at all, reach out.
Yeah, Brian
So-
is available 24 hours a day.
I'm forwarding calls to your phone, Grant. But
Cool, guys. It's been absolutely fantastic. We need a new sign out phrase. Because that be well, be awesome. It was.
is that because we'll all cry if we say it?
I think so. So
Um,
we need a new one. So I don't know what it is. Maybe we'll put that out into the group, and maybe people can suggest something for the end of it. But yeah.
well, what if we just
played an increasing crescendo of a news theme?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
I like that.
or like what Jim's stepdaughter Yang, the video montage, the whole photo slideshow, that was all her, and Anthony helped out cut some of the audio that was used. Maybe we just use the audio from Jim as part of the outro.
I also think it's nice and personal if the presenter kind of says good night or goodbye. As much as I love Jim, we have got to, keep his legacy going forward by being unique and innovating.
Oh, how British of you!
Exactly.
You need to do your best newscaster voice. That's
Shuffle some newspapers. Let the lights stay down.
I was going to say we can always do the Walter Cronkite thing, and that's the news.
Love it.
But anyway, everybody, guys, always a pleasure chatting with you guys.
Take care.
All of our friends out there, stay free.
Stay free. I like that.
Good night, everybody.
See you later. Good night.